Yeah, another sunny day at the office. Unfortunately, it's too windy to go to the back of the Yonk. Yeah, as you can probably see, quite windy up there. Yeah. How close can I go? A little bit closer. Okay, that's enough arsing around, eh? So yeah, it's just noisy in the background. The wind cutting the camera is good, but it's not that good, I suppose. Well, anyway, so they're in and everything seems to be settling down nicely. Just nice, warm and toasty, or something, just the right amount of the moisture in the sand, sort of thing. So that's good. I've put in a few. We've got a spot cullen just for a bit of fun. I put a cutting in there. I put a cutting over there, sort of thing. I've do my usual trick with the I'm taking an old leaf, so it's got, I assume it's got low sugar levels, because just before it dies the plant usually withdraws things from the leaves, or things, so it's got low sugar levels, so it won't inhibit the microorganism, and therefore it should strike better. So not working on the old theory, you've got to use the youngest, most freshest growth to try and strike cuttings from. No, I think you should be using ones that are almost on the John Wayne sort of thing, so they've got low sugar levels, because these plants are glycophytes, you see, and you've got to ask yourself the question, why are they glycophyte? Is it are they being glycophytes as their ability to inhibit the organism, control the organism? Yeah, so it's a good question. Over here, it's keeping quite a nice. When it gets rained on and then it settles down, and again I've done the same thing here, sort of thing. And I think we're going to get a surprise. We're going to find that these plants, in general, that one looks. That's a cutting I put in there. We'll find that these plants probably will adapt to this wetter environment than we even think. So we'll see how we go. So this might actually be the way to go. Yeah, and by messing around by putting polystyrene down the bottom, using surfacted sand, maybe charcoal in there, and it might be a case of you just line the bottom of a pot with bark chip, candles, and chalk, some chalk sticks. Yeah, solid chalk, has to be solid chalk, and down the bottom, and then you have a layer of poly, maybe charcoal, and then the sand on top, sort of thing. Maybe even just a very thin layer of sand, I don't know. But as I think this is the way it's heading, sort of thing, is to use the polystyrene as a wick, I think, so you get the benefits of being able to keep things wicked and wetted up at the top, but at the same time generating reductive flammable gas as the water goes through up through the polystyrene. It's being what's the word? It's like when you make a carbonated bottle, you infuse the water with the gas. In our case, it's reductive flammable gas. So it's a reductive flammable gas. It keeps things in a reduced state. It's very important. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. I think that's what the zinc does. It's a very reductive element. It keeps things in a reduced state. So all our ratios seem to be, coming out very similar these days. And so we'll see how it goes. And of course, we have the zinc-rich sands over in WA. So anyway, that's enough of that. Now I'm just going to take you over to this wet spot over here. Just before this bloke turned up. Oh, they've mown it. They've mown. They've mown the wet spot. Trust me, if you want to come out and film it today after seeing it only 2 days ago. So they've got all these weeds over here. But what I noticed, I said, I don't think it used to be wet. It started getting wet about 2 seasons ago, and of course we had trouble with the lamp, probably because it was so wet, and they keep having to change the bulbs and this thing. But I've noticed in this wet patch here, you've got all these, what I think are plantains, but I think the word plantain is a very loose term. I think they apply the word plantain to a number of similar looking or groupings of plants. So it may not actually be a plantain, so it may be like an echium relation or something like that. So I don't know if it's like a broad group sort of thing. I mean, like we have like 2 groups of tea trees in this country because they named them from different parts of the continent, sort of thing. So anyway, it looked a lot. It looked a lot better, fellas, when they hadn't actually mown it. It was very much more interesting. Oh well, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Time to walk on back. The other thing I was going to talk about is the. At the moment, I think my top weeds, the ones I like, is the dandelion, and also that other one that we see at on Baz's Urban Patrol the last 2 seasons on Baz's Urban Patrol, the one with the nice sort of red marginalisation, I think it is, on it. But did you notice that over at when we went to that other concentration park, in one of the videos, I sort of touched the leaf on one of the plants, and it either moves or it maintains its position once it's been moved. So the stem part of the petiole is so fat and juicy that it's maybe it's got like a jelly in it, a bit like a what's that plant they use for burns and not jojoba? No, not jojoba. One they use for burns, and it has all that jellified material inside its stem. Maybe it's like one of those. It's got so much jelly in its stem part of the petiole that when you bend it's like one of those sort of toy things from your childhood where you bend the arms and it just stays where you bent it to. It could be like that. Either that or it moved. So it might be interesting to see that. Anyway, this is a dandelion. Probably used to be my favourite top weed at the, CP associate weed. Very interesting about the dandelion is it grows where it's a bit like the glid. It just grows where it grows, and you get a few seedlings popping up. It's probably very indicative of the soil. It's very choosy, I suppose. But gee, there's not. This one here grows here, year in, year out, and you get the odd ones popping up. And you get the odd one here, always grows here. Probably has a taproot sort of thing, and it grows there, and it grows year in, year out, and you get the occasional seedling popping up. But it doesn't seem to grow too much anywhere else. But if we go for a wander over here, you'll see out the front here. You get lots of these sort of plantain type plants growing here on the side, and these are the ones that can become, out here, down there, and out there sort of thing, and down here, lots of them growing here, sort of thing. And if we go down here quickly, before we run out of footage, and this is sort of like a plantain too. But it's the skeleton weed one sort of thing. So growing in groups down here, and this is our other one that seems to have the fluorescent leaves, I believe, but it very confusing because the dandelion, and of course then you've got the sonchus here, which can go absolutely turquoise, and can get quite large too. It's quite a bit like some of these other plants. So we've got these here, and then we've got some nice sonchuses there. But they can be very confusing. That's a nice big one there. That's sort of foot size sort of thing. And then down here we got this other one, which is, I don't know, it's like a Jerusalem artichoke. But the thing I photographed the other year But again, it's still showing the same characteristics. I'll just go to Spot Cullen. And it's still showing the same characteristics of all the other plants. Same with the Sonchus to a certain extent. So yeah, and the it can become colourful as well. But oh, and look at this one. Look at the roughness on that. So this is why I like this is why I like these sort of weeds. They're the weeds that just keep on giving, and you can find ones with slightly different, you know, prickly little thorny areas on there, slight variations, and of course then we got this nice little song. I think I like these sort of plants because they remind me of that Tarzan episode when he has the carnivorous plant, and but I think the most appropriate one is the one that you see in the Lost World sort of thing. Anyway, oh, here we go, fine example of this one here. There we go, it's got a bit to Spot Cullen. So here we go. So we can do some photographic magic of showing cars going past in the distance sort of thing. I don't know. Can we do that? Too much sun? Yeah, let's go for changing the focal length and seeing what we do. How about general portrayals? We get a car going past and we'll I don't know, we'll have fun, see what sort of screenshots I can take from that. General, you know, 49 area one. Okay, I think that's enough fun and games, fellas, for one day. Okay. As I said, I found that sort of Jerusalem artichoke down there, but I think they sprayed. The people that put the rainwater tank in there, they sprayed, and I don't think we'll have a snowball's chance in hell of ever seeing another seedling there. I'm probably just going to have to go bush and find the odd one here and there on a derelict site sort of thing. So anyway, that's about it for today. I've got some junk mail, and that's about it. I don't know if this site over here is going to start producing the moss again once we get a proper year and it gets wet. But you used to get moss growing all the way along there, but whether that will come back I don't know. Okay, over and out, see ya.